Hi, it's Toni and Brandon with Aquatek Water Conditioning, and it's that time of year where we've got builders and homeowners calling us, letting us know that they've built a home or they're in the process of building a home and they need to know what they need to do about water treatment equipment. So for us, we like to actually be involved in that process as soon as possible. So if you're thinking about building a home, we want you to know about your water. We want you to know your water on the front end because it can save you a lot of headaches on the back end.
And this is something you're going to want to ask your contractor from day one. When you decide on the area that you're building in, ask them, do they know the area very well? Do they know the water table, what type of water is there? Because unfortunately in Northwest Ohio, we have one extreme to the other. We can have areas that have naturally flowing wells where there's water coming out of the ground, to 15 miles away having no water in the ground, to 10 miles away to having heavy sulfur area. So if they know that beforehand, we can know what we're going to deal with. They might suggest obviously using a pond rather than a well, because it's going to come out a lot better for them in the long run. So asking questions before you even start the build is the best thing to do, because once you start the build, you're kind of locked in. So then it's deciding on what kind of water source we're going to use.
Yeah, and so when we come in on the back end, we are dealt with whatever water is available on the property. And while most water is improvable or treatable, there are some scenarios where it becomes really a challenge. So we've covered the whole gamut of things. We have things that just need a simple water softener to things that need a low yield well, or we need to consider a pond for drinking water treatment. But all of those things require planning. They require budgeting and planning.
Yep. And obviously depending on what type of water source we're dealing with or water quality, like Toni said, it could be a simple water softener, which is very small footprint, to our pond systems that are 12 to 14 foot long and have large holding tanks. So we really need to plan on space, drains available, power available. There's a lot of planning that goes with that. If you're digging the pond, who's going to dig the pond? If you are doing that, you have to make sure that excavation company is certified from the state of Ohio. And you have to make sure whoever's your contractor is certified by the state of Ohio to install those type of systems. Who's running the water line from the pond to the house? There's just a lot of things to think about. And if we get too far along in that build, it makes it a lot more difficult for us to get our equipment in there for space issues or whatever it is. So the earlier we can get involved, the smoother it's going to go, where the homeowner doesn't have to think about it. They just know the contractors are going to take care of it. They're going to move into a house that has a water equipment, has good water, and they don't have to think about it.
Absolutely. So when we're involved in the beginning of the process, or as soon as we can in the process, it helps us build a partnership with that customer, with that builder, so that as we go along, when we get to the point where we're installing the equipment, we're able to properly train, test, and then have a lifelong partnership with somebody's water.
Yeah, because we're not only dealing with the homeowner. Like I said, we're dealing with the contractor who's building the house, the electricians who's doing the wiring. We're dealing with the plumbers who are doing the piping for everything. So we're dealing with multiple contractors at the same time. So if we can get a step ahead of that and work with them on how they're laying their stuff out, then our system goes in a lot easier, which then is obviously saving the customer money too in the long run too. So we want to get involved as early as we can with the homeowner and builders. That way everything goes smoothly.
So it's simple. If you're thinking about building a house and you're at the beginning of the process, maybe you're there in the middle of the process or even at the end of the process, it's simple. Give us a call. We're going to gather some information from you. We're going to come out on site, test the water. We're going to tell you how much space that we're going to need based on the type of equipment that we're recommending installing, and hopefully helping to make some of those decisions for you a lot easier.
Yeah, and this is no cost or obligation, so you're out absolutely nothing to have me come out and just do a consultation with you. And we're more welcome to meet your contractors out there at that time to explain what we need from them to make sure everything goes smoothly.
Absolutely. So there are so many decisions to consider when you're building a home. One thing that we can help you with is eliminate that decision, one big decision on your water on the front end.
And we're planning that way it's budgeted into your build, because it's happened before where, you build the house and you forget about your water. And all of a sudden, it is a pond water treatment system, which are going to be several $1,000s. So we hate to get to the end point and realize we didn't plan for that, or the homeowner didn't plan for that. We work with you as much as we can, but that is a large process, and it takes a while to put one of those in.
So we have some tips and suggestions in a blog post that we've written over the years that we'll include with this video so that you have that information. But like I said, if you have any questions, or you're considering a build, or in the middle, or in the process of a build, just give us a call. We're happy to come out and provide you with a recommendation.
Yep. Thank you, everybody.